EarthForce is a nonprofit organization that works at the crux of civic engagement and environmental education. We work primarily in middle schools, but really from like 5th to 10th or 11th grade, working to help students get civic experiences so they can use democracy as adults.
EarthForce was inspired by 3 young women in Freeport, Maine. In 1989, these young women were interested in having a clean stream. And so they went out and did a stream cleanup, and in the process of cleaning up that stream, they found a bunch of styrofoam. It was the old styrofoam they used to see in the 80s that you don't get anymore. And they also found that most of that styrofoam came from fast food places. And so they did a little bit of research. They found that that styrofoam was actually really toxic. It lasts forever. It gets stuck in the gills of fish, and decided they wanted to do something about styrofoam in their stream. And so they worked with a local member of the city council to develop an ordinance that would keep styrofoam from being used in takeout food. They went to the city council to present the ordinance. On the day they went to do it, also attending that city council was a person that represented a large fast food joint and someone from Dow Chemical who was there to talk about the benefits of styrofoam. And so the kids had a discussion, the city council listened.
Over time, they ended up getting a city ordinance passed that styrofoam is not allowed within Freeport, Maine. So this ended up getting like a ton of national press. They ended up on the Today Show debating someone from Dow Chemical about the value of styrofoam.
Some folks from the Pew Charitable Trust saw that and decided that they wanted to start an environmental education program that was focused on getting young people to work around policy changes, right? Trying to change the structures of their communities. And so they invested in EarthForce, and that's where we came from. But the EarthForce process is a 6-step process, but really what it is just decision-making process, right? It's if you're an engineer or you're building a house or you're trying to solve a problem in a community, it's the same thing.
Students start off with environmental inventories where they're going out in their community, they're surveying, environmentally speaking, kind of what's going on, from strengths to issues. So what are the positives in our community? What can we kind of draw from to do a project? And what could we improve upon, right? What are the issues that we could work on for a project? Then, in step 2, they choose what issue to decide to do.
We've developed a system for young people to use democratic decision-making to whittle that down to 1 or 2 problems that they want to work on.
Then, in step 3, they research that issue. If you don't understand what's going on already, you're not going to make effective change. So they're talking to stakeholders, they're interviewing their principal or school board. They're really getting a deep understanding of the entire problem at hand. Then step 4 is they're deciding how to tackle that issue.
Narrow down and develop their strategy. So once again, they come together and do a strategic process where they create a criteria and talk it through and decide what they're going to do with it.
Step 5 is actually doing the project. Then step 6, you're reflecting and you're sharing your experience. So it's not done when the project is done. They need to come together, kind of analyze what they did, what was good, what was bad, what can we improve upon, and share out their experience. That's the 6-step EarthForce model.
There are 3 essential elements, 3 experiences we need kids to have. One is that they choose their own project. Vitally important that the parents or their teachers or whoever, some adult doesn't choose it, but the young people do because it makes it relevant to them. The second is that they have to debate it among their peers, and so they have to argue about it and kind of work through it, and that really helps them hone their ideas and solidify them. And third is that they have to speak to power to create change, right? And so we're asking young people to go into communities and say, this is what we would like. And if kids have those 3 experiences, then they've done EarthForce correctly.
I don't see environmental education as being a fruitful endeavor without this civic connection, because without it, we are just motivating students to love the environment and love nature, but it's not going to be here if we don't act upon it.